Everybody loves movies about hope and redemption. But when The Majestic delivers just that, the critics suddenly call it corny. Well, maybe the problem isn't the movie. Maybe the problem is the critics who forgot to feel anything that isn't ironic detachment. So, this Memorial Day, let's roast the critics who hate The Majestic. Marianne Johansson from Flick Philosopher says, "Look, there's a lot of dead boys, so there's heartbreaking photos in shop windows all over town. Handsome young men in uniform and bunting and flags. Has Trump signed this movie into an executive order to make it mandated viewing for people to become citizens?" Dan Fazio from City Search says, "The Majestic is to Frank Capra what a 50s themed restaurant is to the 50s. Okay, so if I had $1 million for every time a critic mentioned Frank Capra, I would be a millionaire. I mean, look at this. This is just a small sliver of Capra references throughout all of these reviews. Imitation of Capra's films, patriotic films of Frank Capra, Capra Creed, idyllic world of Frank Capra, modeled on Capra's films. Capra, 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 Capra." You know, I'm sensing The Majestic playing out here.
Go ahead, tell me again what a great guy
Capra
was, because you know what? I haven't heard that enough.
Philip Wunsch from Dallas Morning News says, "The ghost of Frank Capra haunts the movie so fiercely, audiences may pray for an exorcist." It is really rude to compare audiences to Hebrew slaves. I really don't think that modern moviegoers have as much need of an exorcist as those poor people in Egypt. I mean, what does this guy want? For his cherry slushies to turn to blood? For God to split the movie screen? About God, what is this? It makes no sense. Donald Munro from Fresno Bee says, "With its fake burnished sunsets and wobbly high school band playing the national anthem, The Majestic wavers uncomfortably between blissfully old-fashioned and just plain maudlin. I mean, sure, but I don't know what this has to do with orange chicken." Bob Graham from San Francisco Chronicle gives The Majestic a fresh score. He says, "I think Americans are in the mood today for a sentimental movie about their values, and frankly, it's wonderful to see people get teary-eyed over the First Amendment." Wow, this was written over 20 years ago. Like, people are still crying over the First Amendment all these years later. But there ain't no way I'm giving up my guns, right? Nell Minow from Common Sense Media, she says, "This corny movie may not appeal to kids." It's not made for kids, Nell, so it has no obligation to appeal to them. Like, don't watch 28 Days Later and expect it to appeal to kids. Make sure to ring that bell and subscribe. I'll be doing that movie soon. Dave White from iFilm gives The Majestic a rotten score. He says, "So you're going along with your life as a rich Hollywood screenwriter, and bam, you get amnesia. Ain't that the way it always goes?" I don't know why people complain about amnesia in movies. Amnesia can serve as a very helpful plot device to help screenwriters when they write themselves into a corner. And it's a lot more common than people think. Like, all of my grandparents have it. They often don't remember me. They act super crazy and lose their minds sometimes. They change the subject constantly, and then they always forget what we're talking about. Like just last week, I told my grandma that I wanted some ice cream, and could she buy me some? She said, "Ice cream? Ice cream is the size of a house and wouldn't fit in this hospital room." So I said, "I'll just get a small cup. Come on, drive me." "But I can't walk," she says. Don't worry, this does have a happy ending. So she says, "I can't walk and I don't know what direction to swim to get there." Just super Fruity Loopy, right? So anyway, I hitched a ride on her wheelchair, and she paid for my vanilla ice cream from the vending machine downstairs with the change I found in her room. The crazy thing is, the elevators didn't even work. How annoying is that? Alright, so for the most honest reviews of The Majestic, we have Bob Allert from culturevulture.net. That's funny. He says, "The Majestic is a warm and loving ode to the magic of film and the golden age of movie making." So fun fact, this is the first and only Blockbuster movie I rented with my girlfriend, who's now my wife. I kept it for like 3 months, and Blockbuster never charged me a late fee. Oh, that's what happened. Roger Ebert from Chicago Sun-Times, somebody I often disagree with, but I haven't lately. Lately, there's been like this kinship between us for once. It's pretty nice. The Majestic tells a full story with 3 acts. It introduces characters we get to know and care about. And it has something it passionately wants to say. And that is, Happy Memorial Day. I'll catch you in the next video. You stay fresh. Idyllic world of Frank Capra.